Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. All right. Well, welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Elizabeth Dodson from Homezada, co-founder with them. How are you doing today, Elizabeth?
Good. How are you, Ernesto? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing great. I'm interested. I love the name. So interested to learn a little bit more. And I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what Homezada is all about. So let's kick it off in your own words, Elizabeth. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure. So Homezada is all about making the homeowner journey really easily manageable. So it's what we refer to as a digital home management platform. And it's basically an all-in-one suite of applications to help people manage the home. And those applications in turn are about home inventory. So those people want to track it for estate and insurance planning purposes, manage a home maintenance calendar so no one has to nag each other anymore. You can just get these reminders from your website or from your email or your cell phone, and then you can get those reminders and manage your home maintenance. Also managing your projects. So repair, design, and remodel projects can be complicated. So we want to make sure we're making that an easy process to manage. And then obviously understanding all the financial components, which all of these areas are, about your home so that you can better make decisions managing your home. Because our home is one of our largest expenses, and it's yet one of our largest assets.
I would totally agree with you on that. So that's very important. And so then on that note, is there a certain ICP that you guys had that you guys like to go for?
ICP?
Like an ideal client? I mean, is it just homeowners? Is it someone that...
Great question.
Yep.
It's a great question. So one of the things that we noticed is it is a target to homeowners, specifically in the United States. And we also service our partners, those organizations that touch the homeowner, for instance, in real estate, mortgage, insurance, property managers, remodeling contractors, any of those types of organizations that touch the homeowner. They also are a group of customers that we can provide services to. But the average homeowner that looks at Homezada is someone who has disposable income, that they want to use a tool to manage their home. They are tech savvy. They also want to understand what's going on in their home, and they're super organized, or they want to be better organized. Surprisingly enough, we look at customers in all geographies of the United States because we have the same amount of customers in all those geographies. And more importantly, we look at kind of their psychographics versus their demographics, because it's right down the middle, all genders. It's right down the middle, every percentage of population in every state. And people use Homezada for different things. So someone in an area where there's natural disasters, home inventory is the number one thing they want to rely on. Those people who are new to home ownership, they look at home maintenance because they don't have a lot of things yet. So they'll get updated on their inventory, but they want to know, now that I bought this home, now what? What do we need to do? Let me get started on maintenance. And then for those who are changing out their home, that could be someone in their home for 10 years, could be a brand new homeowner. They are looking at using their remodeling projects, and then they move through the system of Homezada to finalize and detail more of what they have about their home so they can make better decisions.
Definitely. So what would be your top client acquisition channel for homeowners to find Homezada?
That's a great question. So one of the biggest thing that we look at is our website. Our website is the biggest acquisition of our homeowners. So we really need to make sure our website is clean, to the point, and also helps explain what digital home management is, because not only are we explaining what Homezada is, but we're also explaining the category of digital home management platform. And that's something new to the industry, and it's new to people. They didn't know that they probably needed to do this. One of the things we also look at is PR. So press is also very important to get people to our site. We look at social media. Social media is also a great educator for our client base. And let's face it, different groups of individuals are on different social media platforms to help us reach the overall goal of homeowners who are interested in being better organized and who want to understand what's going on in their home so they can ultimately save time and money.
That's very important. And so that way, talking about the website, right? So for our listeners to go ahead and visit you, they could always check you out at homezada.com. I do see, as well, you guys have a podcast for owners who are, be a smart homeowner. So that's really important. But then what would you say then? We talked a little bit about it, but is there, does your website then generate those leads for you guys that you're looking for? Or is it to gather more of a newsletter and a database for you guys?
It does both. So the first thing that it does on the website is we are looking for gathering contacts and leads for our company. And those leads come in twofold, like I said before, the professionals as well as the consumers. We also look at our website to convert traffic as well for customers to sign up as customers. So leads to sign up as customers, and they can do that from the website. The other thing we look at is we use tools within our website to gather leads and to nurture those leads. For instance, the 6 mistakes homeowners make, we provide that kind of feedback, which is almost like a tips tool for homeowners. And then we gather those emails and then nurture those individuals, because most people, it's hard for them to understand, do I need home inventory? Do I need maintenance? Do I need projects? When do I use this in my home? So we're using that as an educational tool to help nurture those leads, help explain what Homezada does, and then those leads can then convert into customers of Homezada.
All right, great to hear that from you. And let's switch then gears a little bit, Elizabeth, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the co-founder there for Homezada, what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Oh, as a co-founder, what day is it? So that's one of the reasons I usually ask is what day is it? My core roles are about business development, so our partnerships, marketing, as well as any financial planning that we do for our company. So strategic and financial is still always a part of everyone's role within the organization. Now, the thing is, oftentimes my team may ask me to test something on the development side so that I may end up being a quality assurance type individual. They may ask me for feature enhancements, so I may play a role on product management. And that's not my core role. However, they look for myself as a customer of Homezada myself, and they look for my feedback. Do I like something? Don't I like something? And that's the role of a founder is what day is it? What are we trying to accomplish? And who's involved or who's available sometimes.
Definitely. All right. Sounds like, yeah, like you mentioned, right? Depends on the day it is, right? Different hats on different days. So awesome to hear that from you. On a daily basis or on a weekly basis, then how would you usually stay up with all the marketing trends that are going on, right? Is there a top channel that you'd like to go with?
So there is a one top channel. I stay on top of marketing trends from a variety of solutions. So the first thing I do is I subscribe to a lot of newsletters, which I think are really important. Offline, we talked briefly about AI and how it's playing a role in the marketing world, but it's also playing a role in also other categories, even the Homezada category. We've incorporated AI to make it easier for people to plan for inventory and projects, which is really important. So I'm reading more about AI and how it applies to marketing. So I'll take newsletters. I'll go out and search for information. I'm also an avid book reader. So I will pick up books along the way that not only relate to technology, because it's the industry we're in, but also that relates to things like behavioral economics or psychoeconomics, because I think it's also really important to understand who your customers are. And by doing that, we can gather that information. The other thing we also use, and we find it very beneficial, is analytics. So a lot of people on the phone will use Google Analytics. It tells you a lot about your customers. If you can start looking at the trends and you can start looking at the processes of how people come to your site, why they come to your site, and then what are they looking for? And I think that's really important as well, because it's important that we take the time to not assume who our clients are. And we made that mistake early on in our company, and let the customers come to us, and we'll actually help adjust our messaging accordingly.
All right, great to hear that from you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Elizabeth. And well, let's jump into our next section here, which is our rapid fire question round. Are you ready for them, Elizabeth?
Sure.
Awesome. First off, then, what is the last book that you read?
Oh, I have it right here because I just read it on a plane, and it's so inspiring. It's called The Thought Store. It's a really simple, easy book. It's really fun. And I was literally going through it when we scheduled this, and I was like, this is fantastic. But it's all about how our thoughts change all the things around us. And for those people who are running their own company, oftentimes we come into this place where we're usually frustrated. So we got to pull ourselves back up. And sometimes our thoughts can actually change how we do that. But it's a great book. It's great for teenagers, great for anyone not in business. It's just a fun little book to read.
All right, great. Thank you so much for sharing that for our readers. Next then, Elizabeth, is what is one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
Okay, it's AI. So as I discussed earlier, we have some new AI features that we've rolled out, and AI, leveraging it with our inventory. So helping people actually take videos of their inventory, and then the AI will recognize the types of items you have in your house to speed up the inventory process, because that's a time-consuming process for a lot of our customers, and they want it, but they don't want to always do it. So this speeds up that process. The second thing we're using AI with, which is actually amazing, probably one of my favorite parts of it, is projects. So if you've ever been to like a construction or builder show, there are an infinite number of products that you can choose when you are designing and or building a home. It's crazy how many are available to you. So if you can enter in exactly what you want about your project, then Homezada's AI can build your budget for you. And then you can take that to the contractor that you're going to be using and understand exactly what you want. And then if you need to make adjustments, the AI will also do that. But most of the people in the United States are over budget on their projects, which is why we're trying to help that process and help them get ahead of things beforehand. And that's how AI is going to help us as well. It's amazing.
Yep, I think it's amazing, and it's here to stay. And then the more you improve it, the better it's going to be. So awesome to hear that. Zada there. Great stuff. Then next, Elizabeth, is if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Oh my gosh, this is a hard one. If there's no technology, I would want to know the most about my customers as I could. And I know a lot of people want to keep some of that very sacred and very private, but I want to build products that actually benefit people. And if I know who they are, then I can give them what they want.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great. Now, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Repetitive task? Like how much time do you have? Like seriously, like, there's a lot of repetitive tasks that I would like to automate. Blog content would be amazing. That would be one thing I'd want to automate, because you're constantly checking things and making sure it meets SEO guidelines and what have you. And then, and even social posts. That's also something I'd want to automate, because I think there's a unique audience in each social media platform, and especially if you're managing all that, but meeting their needs. Once again, giving them data that they want to see so that it benefits them.
All right, great stuff. I definitely would agree with you on all those points. And well, lastly, Elizabeth, I mean, we're coming to the end of the show, but I do want to know, with so much experience that you have, is what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
Oh, start marketing early. Start marketing early. Like, one of the things we did with Homezada is we wanted to surprise people, but we didn't really surprise them because we didn't lead up to the marketing area. I would market as early as you can and let people know things are coming. That's what I would do.
Definitely. All right. Great advice there for myself and for listeners. Hey, well, Elizabeth, thanks a lot for being on the show with us today. I do want to give you the last word. Now, if someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about Homezada?
But it's here to help you manage your house in its entirety. And I can attest, I personally have saved thousands and thousands of dollars and a lot of time actually using Homezada. And my contractors will say the same thing, meaning my remodel contractors or my repair contractors. They benefit from me using Homezada as well.
Definitely, that's important. Well, to our listeners, you can check them out at homezada.com, the all-in-one suite of apps to manage your home. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being on with us today. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Elizabeth.